Greetings, everyone, and welcome to number 4 on my list. And today I'll be talking about James Rhodes, also known as War Machine. And I got a lot of information, so I'm going to try to cover it as best I can. So in the words of Sam Jackson in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. Okay, James Rhodes. His first appearance was in Iron Man number 118 in January of 1979. During the time that he was Iron Man, it was Iron Man number 170 in May of 1983. And officially as War Machine, it was Iron Man number 282 in January of 1992. And he was created by Dave Million and Bob Layton. He was part of the Marine Corps. He's been part of Stark Industries, the West Coast Avengers, the Main Avengers, the Iron Legion, World Watch Incorporated, Secret Defenders, Force Works, The Crew, Office of National Emergency, Sentinel Squad, The Initiative, Team War Machine, Secret Avengers, and the Department of Defense. And who? Now, when Rhodey first debuted, this was actually, I believe, right around the time of the Vietnam War. And he was actually a young black Marine that was actually stuck behind enemy lines. He was by himself. His entire squad had been decimated. And a whole bunch of Viet Cong were about ready to open fire and take him out when at the last second Tony came in and saved his life. And eventually he would go to work for Tony as his chief of security. However, later on, during the Demon in the Bottle storyline and whatnot, when Tony was recovering from alcoholism, he revealed to Rhodey that he was actually War Machine. That he was War Machine. I meant to. Sorry, guys. Screwed up there. That he revealed to Rhodey that he was Iron Man, and for a brief time had Rhodes take over as Iron Man while he was recovering. And eventually, Rhodey actually liked using the Iron Man armor, and he basically, in a sense, blackmailed Tony, saying, "Hey, make me my own armor, or I'm going to tell the world that you're Iron Man." Well, not on one hand, not taking this bribery very well, but also not wanting his identity revealed to the world, Stark reluctantly created a suit of armor for Rhodey, and that's when War Machine was born. And Rhodey would go through many different incarnations, and much like Tony himself, he would go through many different War Machine armors. He would have some that would have a Vulcan-style Gatling gun, as well as shoulder-mounted missile launchers. Eventually, he would get one, like you see in this picture, which is a giant plasma cannon, and a lot of AI tactical networks. And then eventually, at one point, his War Machine armor was actually a bio nanite alien war armor. And eventually Rhodey would become mangled, much in the same way of Victor Stone's Cyborg, and so he was eventually had to basically stay in his War Machine armor because it would be the only thing that would keep him alive. And Rhodey would go through many different features and have many different functionalities. One interesting thing about Rhodey is that his War Machine armor is a lot heavier than Tony's regular Iron Man armor because of all the weapons. So basically, in other words, Rhodey is literally the flying is quite frankly a one-man armory and literally a flying mobile battle tank. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of weapons that Rhodey's suit actually has. But Rhodey eventually, in the most latest armor that he has, it adapts a chameleon function. The Iron Man 2.0 War Machine armor actually has a chameleon function that, unfortunately, due to a compatibility error, he cannot be intangible or invisible at the exact same time. He has to choose one or the other. And Rhodey also aside from all the weapons, Rhodey, I believe, has also actually adapted. He's also adapted, I believe, repulsor blades as well. I could be wrong about that. But it seems like whenever Tony upgrades his armor, he always also makes sure to upgrade Rhodey's armor, so that way he's, just as equally fit for battle. And War Machine has been shown, of course, in Iron Man 2, but he was also part of the 90s, Iron Man cartoons and made brief cameos during a few of the cartoons and whatnot. He's been featured in one or two of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. So War Machine has actually become quite a popular hero in his own right. Although many considered him for a long time to be a sidekick of Iron Man, I can honestly and humbly say that Rhodey has come into his own as a hero. And Rhodey during the Civil War would actually team with the pro-registration side, but he only did this because Tony asked him to. Beyond that, he really didn't want any part of the war. And he would also become part of Dark Reign. He would actually join Steve Rogers. He was actually one of the first people selected by Commander Stephen Rogers during, the heroic age to be part of his government-sanctioned Black Ops group, Black Ops Secret Avengers group. And yeah, Rhodey has actually gone through quite a few armors, like I said, and yeah, I don't think there's really much that I haven't already covered for you guys, at least on basic information. But I do like the fact that War Machine is at least being acknowledged among comic book fans. Even the casual audience acknowledge him, and I like that. And when I think of a black superhero in particular, when I think of a black superhero that really can hold their own ground, if you will, one of the many people that I think of is Rhodey. And considering, considering the long history that Rhodey has had in the Iron Man comics, and considering kind of how they've slowly developed his character over the many years, making him both a hero. He's on one hand, he's heroic and he will follow Tony into battle, but on the other hand, man, I am stuttering a lot. On the other hand, though, he's not afraid to whoop Tony's ass if he feels that Tony's getting out of line. Rhodey is very much a hard ass. But nevertheless, I'm rambling on, guys, and this video is probably going on a lot longer than it really needs to. So with that, guys, I'm gonna leave this video off. So James Rhodes, Rhodey, the heavy armored battle tank, as I call him, the one-man armory, War Machine. Not exactly a lesser known character, but nevertheless, as always, guys, he is awesome. As is any other character that has come before or even after, in this marathon and even beyond. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned for number 5. And yeah.